Hello, and welcome to 8th grade history. This information is applicable to both regular and honors history classes. Both will cover the same information. What can vary is how some information is covered, the depth to which it is covered, and some of the activities in which the students will participate. Honors level history is not intended to be more work, just sometimes different work or to a different depth. I'm Stacy Munoz, and I'm in my, yikes, 23rd year of teaching. I have a bachelor's degree in elementary ed from Washington State University. Go Cougs! I also have a master's in education as a reading specialist from Central Washington University. One thing that I will share here is that my highest value is the relationships I build with my students. I got into teaching for my love of kids over my also present love of learning. While learning is vital and what we are here to do, we will accomplish more of it if we have strong relationships in the classroom community. I live here in Silverdale with my husband Ed and my daughters Alyssa and Ava, along with our golden shepherd Katie. Alyssa is a sophomore at CK High School and Ava is a 7th grader at CK Middle School. My main means of communication are through Google Classroom and email. On Google Classroom, I post an announcement each week that includes the daily agendas and homework. I also post most handouts and assignments here as well. While parents do not have their own account access, I recommend asking your child for his or hers, or simply sitting down each night, having your child log in, and looking at it together. I also use email to communicate to families as a whole when I have announcements or information that need to be delivered to everyone, or on an individual basis as well. I always welcome communication from parents. Email is the method by which you will get the quickest response from me, but you're welcome to call as well. As 8th graders, I do encourage my students to advocate for themselves as much as possible by communicating directly with me regarding grades and other questions or concerns they may have. U.S. history in 8th grade is split between semesters. During first semester, we study U.S. history. We pick up where our 7th graders leave off here in the CK School District, which is the mid-1800s with the antebellum period, the period leading up to the Civil War, the Civil War itself, and the Reconstruction era. It takes us into about 1900 or the early 1900s. We also have a civics and citizenship strand where students are held accountable for learning the information that the U.S. Department of Immigration draws from when giving citizenship tests to people trying to obtain a citizenship in our country. Second semester, we move into Washington State history, which fulfills a high school graduation requirement. It is important that I mention that I will have a student teacher second semester. Her name is Eileen Beck, and she will do the bulk of the teaching for Washington State history. I can already tell she's going to be amazing. She's currently in our building as a practicum student this fall with the other 8th grade history teacher, Mike Foltz. Washington State history includes pre-Washington territory with the Native Americans that were here living in the state, both the coastal and plateau tribes, into the present. And it includes geography, government, people and immigration, land and industry, and the changes that occur over time in all of those. My grading categories are assessments or tests at 55%. That can also include summative projects. Quizzes and projects, which is quizzes and smaller projects, at 30%. Classwork and homework, which is 10%, and participation, which is 5%. I do accept late work, and typically it is with no loss of credit. Of course, it is always in the student's best interest to get work done on time so as not to fall behind. There are some projects that will have a hard due date that may result in the loss of credit if not ready on time. Often those are projects that require a presentation of some sort in class. Extensions are granted with prior approval and for unforeseen circumstances only. I don't allow students to retake tests per se, but I do allow for them to show their knowledge in an alternate method if they are not satisfied with their performance on a test. Oftentimes, this is through the completion of Cornell notes for the corresponding chapters covered, and sometimes there may be other methods offered as well. Thank you for watching my presentation. I am excited for another great year in 8th grade U.S. History at CKMS. Go Cubs!